Mark, Lou said yesterday they were going to get the best player in the draft and not draft toward a particular position. Do you concur with what you guys were able to pick up here tonight?
Yeah, we've really liked Timothy. I mean, we believe in his skill, and I mean, he was up and down a little bit this year, but he had a bad case of mono, and he can move pucks. He's a new NHL kind of defenseman that can move up and down the ice at a high pace and making plays out of our own end very quickly.
Are you confident it was just the mono that affected his year?
Yeah, I'm very confident. I mean, he played seniors, the men's league for a bit, and he got mono, and then when he came back from there, he wasn't the same, and it took some time to get him going. And but I mean, the year before, and I already believe it's always a body of work. You know what? You can't 3 months. You can't always judge a player. I mean, these 3 months he wasn't as good as he should be, but there's a lot of good things he's done at the under-18s. I mean, he was one of the better defensemen there. So, we're impressed with him. We're very happy to have him, and he's something that we need on our back end.
Mark, someone had told you last summer that you could get him at 17.
You'd actually be shocked that you wouldn't have thought he would be there at the 17th hole. What he did the year before, and he's just high in skill and high in. He could skate. I mean, he's got all the tools that you want as a hockey player, and what he did the year before at 17 was off the charts. And I mean, he had maybe a little bit up and down this season, but at times, guys, he was very good too, and he was outstanding.
Tell me that he was top 3 on his list heading into this season.
Exactly. I mean, he was at the under-18 in North Dakota, and I think he had a point a game, and he's one of the best defensemen on the ice. So he's going to be enjoyable for the fans of Toronto to watch, and he will bring people to their seats.
You have an idea enough to say that the mono was the kind of turning point for him?
I just think it hurt his development to the rate that he needs to be as a hockey player. So I think it pushed him back a bit. But I mean, that said, we've all had people we know that's had mono. It takes time, and now he's healthy and ready to go, and he's a good player.
What would you expect for his trajectory to the NHL? He said he figured he'd need another year at least in the Swedish league.
Yeah, that's something we'll talk about. I'm sure that he'll come to our mini camp in what's the 7th it starts at. So he'll come there, and we'll look at him, see where he's at, and we'll go from there. But I mean, to make any decisions, it's hard to tell right now, and where he's going to play. And I mean, he's got to get ice time, and he's got to play, and he's got to move ahead with his career here and show his stuff.
Mark, when you came here tonight, did you expect him to be there at 17? Just given his year?
Not really. I mean, we all say that. Everybody says that in the draft, where we say, well, we got this guy that no one else, and so I don't want to go on that cliche. I just know he's a solid hockey player, and he's a puck-moving defenseman. That's the new age of National Hockey League that can put the puck up the ice very quickly, and so it's something we believe in, and we believe in skill, and we want skill in the back end, and he's one of them kind of guys.
It's enabled Sweden to be a go-to country for the organization. It seems the past few years you've drafted several.
Yeah, he has. I mean, they're all solid individuals, and they got good characters, and I mean, they all work at their game, and they progress very well. So it's you see even in the draft, there's a lot of Swedish kids that went today.
Was it close between him and the next guy on your list? Or was he that much further ahead?
No, he was ahead, but you know what? That's your mind. You know what? We had him ahead, so that's our list, and we drafted him.
What did you pick up about him as a person in the meetings that you had with him?
You know what? He's very honest about his game, and I think that's important. And some young men think they're good when they're bad. So I think he's very humble and honest about where he has to go, and that's important to be a hockey player.
Did you play include North America next year, or would you leave him there?
Right now, I mean, we foresee him leaving in Sweden, but that's why we want to wait to the mini camp and see where he's at, and we'll make a decision then.
Some have said Mark, he was on the wrong team this year. That they were a pretty poor team, and they didn't treat him very well.
Yeah, I think he had some issues, but you know what? I just think he had too many teams he was on last year, and when that happens, it seems like any hockey player over the years, it's a roller coaster.
Is that a situation that will be rectified next year, where he'll be in a more stable situation than not going and competing team?
Yeah, that's what we hope so right now, that we get him on a situation where in the men's team that he's going to get ice time and be healthy and progress as a hockey player.
How was the first round in terms of just where players were going? I'd heard it was going to be sort of chaotic, that somebody's number 5 would be somebody else's number 20. Is that what you kind of noticed?
Yeah, you know what, I thought the first 10 kind of went, and then the next after that, I mean, it was kind of over the map, but that's drafting. Everybody has a different opinion, and who's a player and who isn't a player.
What do you expect for tomorrow for yourselves?
You know what, hopefully we can pick up some more players. I mean, that's pick up the best player there, and we're drafting the 58, so we've got a chance to pick up another good player in that position.
Was there much trade talk today as part of your day, or?
You know what, I let Lou look after that, guys, so I don't have enough information for you to talk about that.
So a couple of other GMs about if this draft was different in terms of if they felt they knew what other teams were going to do or what their interest levels were, and a lot of them have said it was a little bit tougher to tell this year what other teams might be doing. Is that sort of fair to say?
Yeah, you know what? I thought most of the players, maybe a couple that people reached a little bit, but I thought in general was, you know what, in our list anyways, in the top 40 there, everybody was pretty well in that area, so there wasn't many wild picks to us.
He said he was nervous when he met with you guys in Buffalo. Did you sense that?
You know what? I think he was. I think he was okay, better than I expected. For sometimes because of the language barrier, and he speaks pretty well English. But I mean, I thought he was just okay. But I mean, it was to a certain way where I thought he. I think he explained himself well, but he's kind of a quiet kid and a humble kid when he's talking. So I think in time he'll open up.